Hi, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and I'm here today presenting for CutCardStock. Their theme this month is glitter paper, so I decided to use that as a background and for my sentiment. So I started with the all-to-new Baroque Motifs stamp set here. I thought that was pretty elegant, and then I'm also using their Love die cut for this particular card. So again, I'm going to start out by, I've arranged the stamps onto the top of my MISTI, and I'm now using Versamark and stamping it on there. And you can see that I've got the paper at an angle because I thought it made the best image. And so now I'm using Ranger's new embossing glaze. This is a Tim Holtz product, and I wasn't sure how this was going to work. I'm using it on a Lagoon Star Dream Metallic cardstock, but again, I really like the way this turned out because the embossing glaze just kind of, it's not lumpy, it doesn't have a lot of texture to it, but it just really kind of smooths out over that Lagoon cardstock. So I thought that really was pretty for a background. And then the next thing I did was I cut some loves. I cut one out of glitter paper and then two out of just white cardstock so that I could stack them. And so I'm sitting here just kind of gluing the stacks together. I love stacked sentiments on cards. I just really makes them pop, and I just really like the depth that you get when you do stack them up. So obviously the glitter piece goes on the top. So again, just kind of getting them all together here. Using a white glue gives you a little bit of time to kind of smoosh them around and make sure that they're lined up correctly, which is nice to have that extra time. So the next thing I did was I used a scrap piece of paper and I held it over half of the love die, and then I used the embossing ink dauber and just put it on the bottom half of that sentiment, and then I'm again using that embossing glaze to do just the bottom of the word love. So again, this glaze melts and just kind of goes into like rivets or divots, and just really fills things in. So here I am just looking for a piece of 4.5 or 4.25 by 5.5 glitter paper that I can use for the base, and then the Baroque piece will go on top. And then I decided to add a piece of vellum. So this is Glamour Natural Translucent Vellum from CutCardStock, so I'll be using that. And then here I am using a scrap of the Star Dream Metallic Lagoon color to silver emboss the sentiment, Always and Forever. I thought that went nice with the love cutout. So again, just here kind of melting it. And then I'll trim it down to 1/4 inch. So I've glued the Baroque piece onto the glitter cardstock using glue, so I needed to, put something on it to help it maintain the stickiness there. And now I've also taken that sentiment strip and put it on a piece of the silver cardstock and just let a little bit poke out of each side. And then I trimmed it at an angle, as you can see. That tends to be what I do. I don't do a lot of fishtails. I tend to just kind of cut my sentiment strips at an angle. So now I'm going to assemble the entire card. And then here I am with that piece of Glamour Natural Translucent Vellum. It kind of has a little bit of a sparkle to it too, so it goes well with the glitter paper. So I've got that attached there. And then I'm going to glue the love sentiment on top of the vellum. You do get a little bit of puckering with it, but I wasn't worried about that. So again, I'm sticking my acrylic block on top to help it stick better. And then here I'm going to grab my glue gun and just do the sentiment strip as well. And then I've got a little bit of trimming to do here on the background. So there is the final card. And here's a picture of the final card. I was real pleased with the way this one turned out. I love the sparkle and the Star Dream Metallic and the Lagoon color. So again, this is Terry with Terry's Mailbox. Please come visit my social media channels. I'm on YouTube, Blogger, Instagram, and Facebook. I'd love to have you subscribe or follow.